Vispirms es esmu gandarīta, ka uzskatījums atrodu iespēju ierasties Latvijā uz Latvijas prezidentūras atklāšanu. Tas, ko mēs pārunājām, tā ir Eiropadomju organizācija šajā uzskatā mūsu prezidentūras laikā un iespējamā darba kārtība Eiropadomjas. Tāpat mēs arī izrunājām jautājumus, kas skar austrumu partnerības samitu par jautājumiem, kāda varētu tikt apspriesti, un arī tātad es gribētu arī pateikt, ka mums paredzētas divas Eiropadomjas martā un jūnijā. Eiropadomēs būs vispirms martā enerģētikas savienība, kas mums ir ļoti svarīga. Un jūnijā galvenais jautājums būtu par Eiropas vienoto digitālo tirgu. Bet, protams, būs atsevišķi papildus jautājumi. Mēs nevaram izvairīties gan no drošības jautājumu izskatīšanas, gan citiem jautājumiem, kas darba kārtīga var parādīties. Ja mēs runājam par austrumu partnerības samitu, tad Latvijas pieeja, mums ir 6 valstis austrumu partneri, un pieeja katrai valstī atšķiras, jo katra valsts atšķiras, tad galvenais parādīt šī samita laikā, ka austrumu partnerības valstu un Eiropas Savienības valstu sadarbība, tā ir vērtība pat par sevi, un šī sadarbība notiek.
Paldies. Vārds tagad Eiropadomes prezidentam Laimdotam.
Thank you very much, dear Prime Minister Laimdota. Let me start by thanking Prime Minister L.Straujuma for the warm welcome I have received here in really beautiful Riga, and thank you for the great evening yesterday. It was really impressive. And thank you for a good meeting we just had. Also, this part face-to-face. As usual, it's the most interesting question. Likewise, I look forward to meeting President Presidency after this. And thank you for your personal support, because I am here as the President of the European Council because of your support also during the appointment process. Thank you again. Before anything else, first a word on the barbaric attacks in Paris. Terror has struck in Europe. It is sadly not the first time. Madrid, London, and other such dramatic events demonstrate the vulnerability of nations in today's world. The European Union cannot do everything, but it can contribute to strengthening our security. If you remember, in reaction to 9/11, the EU developed the European arrest warrant, but we need to do more. Next week in Strasbourg, I will appeal to the European Parliament to speed up work on the EU passenger name record system. I know that you will be also engaged in this on Wednesday. It can be our common initiative. I hope that it can help in detecting the travel of dangerous people, what is very important today after this tragic attack in Paris. And having spoken to President Hollande yesterday evening, I intend to use the meeting of heads of state and government on 12th of February to discuss more broadly the response the EU can bring to these challenges. Let me now turn to the reason for being here in Riga today. Latvia had assumed the rotating presidency of the Council of the European Union. The Council presidency is important. It is a privilege and it is a challenge and a lot of hard work. all at the same time. I know this from my own experience as Prime Minister of Poland during the Polish presidency of the Council, and I am confident that you are well prepared and capable. You can count on my full support, just as I count on yours. Your presidency starts at a difficult time with serious internal and external challenges to be addressed during the next 6 months. One such challenge is in our eastern neighborhood. Last year, armed conflict returned to the European continent. Territorial integrity and sovereignty must remain the indisputable principles upon which the post-war security of Europe is built. The EU must remain united in the defense of solidarity, freedom and democracy. In this context, our review of the European Neighbourhood Policy and the European Partnership Summit here in Riga in May will be important milestones. Latvia is ideal place to deal with our relations with Russia and our eastern neighbors. In fact, Latvia has, in a responsible way, already contributed a lot to the EU policy towards the East. Let me be clear. The EU does not have a policy against Russia. We have a policy that is aimed at ensuring the respect of peace and borders in Europe. It is a policy that requires and will continue to require sacrifices. Often the price to pay is higher in countries like Latvia, but there is no way around it. The EU will stay the course because fundamental values and European security are at stake. EU leaders reaffirmed this determination at our December European Council 3 weeks ago. Another key challenge will be to finally put the economic and financial crisis behind us. Investment, structural reforms and sound public finances are our strategy to do so. In our rule-based framework, it is essential that all countries live up to their responsibilities. In many ways, Latvia provides inspiration for how to do so and overcome a crisis. Latvia proved that structural reforms for more employment and growth pay off and can be implemented. And in the midst of the euro crisis, Latvia took the brave and forward-looking decision to join the euro area. In the next 6 months, we will need to progress further on the economic and monetary union to improve how it works. For this, we need closer coordination of economic policies, as the level of interdependence between euro countries has become crystal clear during the crisis. We will have an opportunity to discuss this in more detail at the upcoming informal European Council in February. Other key priorities of your presidency are the digital single market and the energy union. I hope ministers can make good progress here. On my side, I will put these topics on the leaders' agenda at the March and June European Councils. And I will involve the Latvian presidency very closely in the preparations of these upcoming summits. Prime Minister, dear Laimdota, I am confident that under your leadership and that of your ministers, the Latvian presidency of the Council of the European Union will be engaged, energetic, and efficient. Thank you. Honestly.
Thank you. And I believe that our cooperation together.
Thank you.
Liels paldies, cienījamie žurnālisti, tagad Eiropas prezidents. Paldies.